there are several large businessmen who've already said figures even better than that. But that, of course, negatively impacts our export sector, which is rebounding already and contributing a lot to the national economy. That also negatively impacts our remittances, di ba? Ng OFWs. Yung other manufacturing natin, for instance, garments, no, from about 800,000 workers, we're now down to 180,000 workers. That sector should be benefited by the strengthening peso. Pero palit ng palit yun eh. So, there is cause for concern. No? There has to be some stability in terms of yung exchange rate. Yung 41, perhaps not this year. No? Yung 43, there's a little bit of comfort, no? At the 43, 44 level. And Bangko Sentral has been doing its job well in trying for us to achieve some stability in terms of the exchange rate.
Erica Tapanya, TV.
Hi sir, I'd just like to ask if you have plans of visiting other areas that was hit by Typhoon Juan. And also, I'd like to ask what type of help that the national government would be giving them. And I'd also like to ask reaction po from the MOA of Secretary Robredo and the Department of Finance on pooling the national and LGU calamity fund so that just in case any typhoon or any calamity hits, we have money.
I think for the most part, I've answered the initial questions. Can I just comment on the last part? That has to be subject to a lot of discussions. Why? Yung access to the calamity fund it happens after a predicate incident, which is a calamity. So areas that will be utilizing their fund before the onset of any calamity might not have any legal basis. There has to be a calamity first that occurs before you're authorized to use the said fund. So if you pull it into a pool, there might be a need, no, for the legislature to enact a law that authorizes them to do the same. It's a proposal, but at this point in time, it needs a lot of study to make it operational. As far as the funds being there or not there, they're already there. And there is, of course, the National Calamity Fund. So having access to it, perhaps is not at this point in time, warranting of any corrective actions. But we will review. You don't want to put in another layer of a bureaucracy that can impact on the efficiency of the downloading of the resources. Thank you.
JC Ruiz.
Depende. Baka ano. Di personal, okay.
May sabi po si Secretary De Lima na disappointed siya na hindi pa nahanap si Senator Lacson hanggang ngayon. Sir, is it a priority for your administration to locate the whereabouts of Senator Lacson?
Ang priority ko yung problema natin ngayon na buhay pinsala sa Pilipinas. Be it a natural disaster like this, be it yung crime incidents like kidnapping, like carjacking sa nagiging violent, yung bombing do sa bar exams, lahat po yan yung priority ko. Hanggang hindi natin natutugis yung mga kriminal na yan, merong yung suspect kasi in one of these bombing cases is already a suspect in 2 other cases preceding that and in multiple years. No? So, parang feeling ko, teka, may ginawa na naman pangatlo, hindi kaya nandito to, priority to. So, may priority rin tayo doon sa pagtataas ng revenues collecting ng ating agencies concerned. Yung customs in particular is drawing a lot of my attention. I just want to make sure my orders are being complied with. Yung pagre-resolve natin ng hostage crisis is also a priority. So that is also a priority of government. But if I were to tell you that is the first priority, that is not correct. The first priority today, and mula last week o mula Wednesday, has been preparations for this typhoon.
Sir, but do you share the view of Secretary De Lima that embarrassing po yung hindi pa nahanap si Senator Lacson?
Dahil siya
Mas function ho yata ng NBI tsaka ng transnational crime. No? Siguro bakit tatanong ko sa kanila? No? Ano nga ba progress natin dito? But again, that might be, di ba, the cause you'd want to look at into right now. Sa akin, there are how many people affected? 600,000 plus in Region 2 alone. ano pala, 673, tama ba? 673,000 in Isabela alone.
Yes.
800,000 more or less in the whole of Region 2. So shall I drop all my concentration here and attend to Senator Lacson? I don't think you'd advocate that.
Thank you po.
Yung mga ahensya lang natin,
Vivian Guzman.
gagawin kong detective.
Good morning po, sir. Good morning po sa ating lahat. Sir, number 1 or number 2 of the recommendations ng Cagayan and Isabela sa mga PDRRMC reports po nila sa regional level ay yung pong grant of seed and fertilizer subsidy sana for farmers natin, and the possible grant of conditional cash transfer, cash for work and food for work for those affected. Ano hong balak po ninyo? Ito ho ba'y positibo para sa inyo, sir?
Maganda po yung mga rekomendasyon nila. Yung sa subsidy sa seeds, hindi na po natin tinuloy yan. Ito, bibigyan na po yung seeds. Grant of seeds, siguro isa the more applicable term. Yung conditional cash transfer, Secretary Soliman is here. No? She looked into that. Yung food for work is, I think, not sanctioned by law. Yung pwede mo lang isweldo, pera. There is a specific law that says, may nagtrabaho, kailangan cash. Pero yung, we will find, the concept, no, yung parang the idea of being able to provide food for those most in need is something that we will do, but it will not be food for work. It will have a different name to be in compliance with the relevant laws. Ano pa nga ba yung ibang points?
Fertilizer, sir. Fertilizer subsidy.
Fertilizer, Secretary Alcala, fertilizer.
Meron din po kaming ibibigay niya ng tatanim ng mga seedlings. Dito lang po natin gagawin niya yung subsidiya dahil sa nagkaroon po tayo ng tama na kalamidad. Pero doon sa wala pong kalamidad, tinigil na po natin ang subsidiya ng seeds at saka po fertilizer.
Ilan pa ba tayo?
Last question na po tayo. Si Nico Agong. Radyo ng Bomborad.
Literally po isolated po ang tatlong coastal towns ng Isabela dahil po sa mahirap ang daan. At ang provincial government po ng Isabela may plano po nang gumawa ng daan po doon.
Mayroon ba doon? Di ba maganda?
May posibilidad po ba na ito ay magiging isa sa mga priority projects ng national government?
Counter.
Ang pagka-inform sa akin, wala akong daan yata papunta doon sa coastal towns eh. Di ba? May airstrips at saka by sea.
By sea.
Yan yung magkaroon tayo ng karsada. Gusto ko umuo sa inyo, pero gusto ko naman makita gaano kahaba ba itong gagawin natin karsada. Gaano kalaki yung paano yung terrain. Iba yung presyo syempre ng upland at saka saan ba ilalagay? Mataas rin yung alon. Pero more than that, saan ba natin ilalagay yung communities na masyado malapit sa danger positions? Kailangan pong iatras. Ilapit sa Sierra Madre siguro ang concept nun. Rather than mas malapit sa dagat para hindi umulit-ulit. Ayun, huwag kayong magkatubili dahil mag-alala, yung nasa kanan ko po ang gobernador natin butihin ay talaga reasonable na usap. Ay, kaliwa ko pala, sorry. Dahil umiiwas po ako dito sa kanan. Ito pong vice governor natin pag may hiningi si Gob, talagang maganda teamwork lang, times 2 yung sa kanya hinihirit Pero gagawin po natin yung nararapat. So, kailangan ng konting pag-aaral. Saan ba natin itatahak yan? Gano'ng kahaba ba to? Ano ba yung dadaanan yan? Yung community pa sa dulo ng karsada nandun o malayo pa rin. No? So, plus may mga other interventions na binabanggit, breakwater, improvement ng airstrips, provision ng port facilities, communication.
Lighthouse.
Yung communication may requirement na baski walang kuryente, walang cell site, wala lahat.
Nakakatawa.
Maandar. So single sideband na may generator, si generator pag wala crudo, wala rin. So paparal natin yun sa DOST. Ano ba pwede dyan? Meron bang makinarya ngayon na pwedeng solar o hand crank para hindi sila ma-isolate. Alam niyo yung nangyari dito sa Isabela in particular, meron pong isang provider. Nung basang kami sa national government, hindi nagkatawagan dahil bumagsak yung site nila. Lahat nung parang yung communication. So that is already being studied. How do we maintain communications with key agencies even in the worst case scenario?
Yeah, that's right.
Sir, pwede.
Si Mia, pagbigyan mo pa si Mia.
Sige.
Haba ng biyahe ni Mia. Sige, Mia.
Channel 5, ang gusto ko pag
Sir, in
Channel 5.
relation to your appeal for the exercises of judicial prudence from the Supreme Court last week, Chief Justice Corona asserted that judiciary's independence and exclusive power to review the actions and policies of the executive and legislative branches. And he also said that the judiciary will continue issuing decisions based on available facts without fear or favor and with no
Pwede siya
wider
mag-comment.
interpretation. And because just get your comment on that.
Siya ginagawa ko.
I think I've made my positions very clear on how I view the recent decisions, specifically the status quo anti-orders for both the impeachment against Ombudsman Gutierrez as well as yung REO number 2. Lest I be accused of unduly influencing them or talking about something that is sub judice, perhaps I should withhold my comments at this point in time. And I will just reiterate that what I said a few days ago is precisely the position I hold today.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Channel 5. Meron